Welcome into the Chiefs Report. Before we jump into today's show, we got a subscriber challenge for the month of June with our AFC West channels here at Chat Sports. We've picked up 68 new subscribers this month. That's got us in second place. The Raiders Report has 111 new subscribers. Broncos Breakdown down there at 54 new subs. So we're beating them, but a lot of work to be done to catch up to Mitchell Renz and the Raiders Report. If you want to win this competition, hit that subscribe button. If you want to support me, hit the subscribe button. 100% free daily videos here on the Chiefs Report. And with that being said, big video to jump on into right now. What's up? My name is Harrison Graham, and you are watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Could Kansas City trade for Chase Young? Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated Monday Morning Quarterback says the Commanders are at least willing to listen to calls for the edge rusher. Here's what Breer had to say. Quote, teams coming out of the spring thinking they needed more help may make trade calls on Young. It seems unlikely that Washington's brass would move him ahead of a must-win year, but I do know they'd be open to listening. Now, Albert Breer also followed up with that article with this tweet saying, just updating this, Chase Young has looked pretty phenomenal in minicamp, much better than in practice at the end of last year, and I'd say the chances of the Commanders considering offers on him aren't what they were pre-draft. Teams can call, but I'd highly doubt he gets moved. Now, as far as the Chiefs go in terms of could Chase Young be a fit, is this somebody that they should go after? I've said it for a couple weeks, if not a couple months. I think Kansas City could benefit from one more edge rusher. Now, does Chase Young fit the mold of just adding one more edge piece? I feel like he fits the more of the mold of trying to hit a home run like, hey, this is a former number 2 overall pick, a guy that we think could still be a high-level starter in this league. Would he be that here? I don't know if that is the perfect fit. I think getting like a rotation edge rusher, like bringing back Frank Clark or signing Yannick Ngakoue, probably makes more sense. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't have any interest whatsoever. Now, based on Breer's reporting, trading for Chase Young right now does seem unlikely. He's right. Washington has to win this year. Ron Rivera enters this season on the hot seat as a head coach. This feels more like, to me, a trade deadline type of deal, possibly. Like, maybe Washington's struggling, and they opt to sell off some pieces. Chase Young could be on the move. Obviously, they have him and Montez Sweat. Paying both long-term is going to be a challenge, considering they've already paid Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. But maybe it's something we revisit at the deadline. Doesn't mean it's impossible this time of year, but I think it's unlikely at this point in time. Now, should the Chiefs try to trade for Chase Young? What say you? Would you try to bring him in here? Type T for trade or P for pass? Again, I'm certainly interested, but I don't think it's super likely, and you'd probably have to overpay right now. So I would probably pass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Let's go from Chase Young to Leonard Fournette, Lombardi Lenny, who, of course, helped the Bucs beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a few years ago. Bleacher Report linked the free agent running back to Kansas City. Here's Alex Ballantyne of Bleacher Report saying, quote, the best fit for Fournette is a contender that can use him as part of a committee where he can utilize his pass-catching ability. If he's looking for a contender, it doesn't get better than the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. In terms of a role, the question is whether Fournette is better than Jerick McKinnon. The 31-year-old McKinnon served as their primary pass-catching back last season. Now, I got to be honest, I really don't have any interest in Leonard Fournette. He had more receptions, I believe, total than McKinnon last year, or at least was close, but I still think McKinnon's more dynamic with the ball in his hands, and Fournette only averaged 3.5 yards per carry. Like, you look at the raw stats, and you're like, oh, I mean, he had almost 1,200 combined yards. That's more volume yardage than McKinnon, but it took way more touches to do it. So I'm not that interested in that regard. A couple of years ago, Fournette was pretty good. This past year, though, his explosiveness definitely slipped quite a bit, and you kind of look at the depth chart, too. It's like, okay, who is Leonard Fournette better than? Isaiah Pacheco? I don't think so. Jerick McKinnon, maybe he's a slightly better overall back, but I think McKinnon, for what this offense does, fits better. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'd probably rather just keep CEH and see what he can do this year. I mean, he was a former first-round pick just a few years ago. Obviously, Fournette was as well, but he's significantly older than Edwards-Helaire. He's been around for 3 or 4 more years in this league. He's got a lot more mileage on those legs. So I just, you add it all up, and it's like, okay, maybe in a bucket. Leonard Fournette slightly better than a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire right now, but I don't know that to be the case for sure. And frankly, for him, I think he could find better situations where he has a bigger role. Now, do you have any interest in signing Leonard Fournette? If you do, type Y for yes. If you're like me, you're like, yeah, pass. Type in for no. Had McKinnon not re-signed, I would feel a little bit differently, but he did. So Leonard Fournette, I think he will be heading elsewhere. Now, if you guys want to pick up this T-shirt shorts combo, I suggest you do so right now because for a limited time only, this is 40% off. Usually it's $60. Right now it's $35.99. Go to chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. That link will be in the comments and in the description of this video. Pick it up today. All sizes, or a lot of sizes, I should say, are available. chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. Okay, let's get to an update on DeAndre Hopkins here today. Not really a Chiefs-specific update, but he is visiting with the Tennessee Titans in NFL free agency, taking a free agent visit in Nashville, which I find quite interesting if I'm being completely honest with you. Here's Tom Pelissero on that report saying that he's flying to Nashville on Sunday to visit with the Titans. D-Hop and Mike Vrabel were together in Houston. Now Vrabel's team gets the first visit with Hopkins, the five-time Pro Bowl pick released by Arizona last month. Now, another thing I do want to mention here is Pelissero added that other teams do remain interested, and there was a prior report, too, that Hopkins is set to take multiple visits. Now, the teams that have been prevalently linked to Hopkins were these first three, Buffalo, Kansas City, and New England. Got to throw Tennessee in there now since he's got an official visit with them. Report today that the Giants are not interested in DeAndre Hopkins, so you could probably take them out. Jerry Jones to the Dallas Cowboys are very unlikely to sign him, so probably can take them out. So maybe he branches out and considers teams like Tennessee. Reports out there that Buffalo is not going to overpay for him. Kansas City might not be able to pay as much as he wants. So we'll see. We'll see what D-Hop does. What will he do? I mean, that's kind of the question I have is he said, 3 weeks ago on the I Am Athlete podcast or whatever it's called, that he wants to play with an established QB and a good defense. He also said good management. But the Titans do not have an established quarterback and a good defense. Ryan Tannehill's had some success in this league, but he's kind of halfway out the door, right? They drafted Malik Willis last year. Even though that didn't work out, they doubled down this year and drafted Will Levis. Tannehill's not the future. He might be their quarterback this year, but even if he is their quarterback this year, I don't think that's the caliber of QB that Hopkins was talking about. Good defense, Tennessee's had some, but they've lost a couple pieces this offseason as well. I just don't think that fits the criteria of what D-Hop was talking about. Now, maybe his market isn't what he was hoping it was, so maybe he's going to ditch those thoughts and say, let's see who's going to pay me the most money, and maybe Tennessee's willing to do that. They do need a receiver, but if he's trying to win a Super Bowl, Tennessee's not the place to go, at least not here in 2023. Now, where will DeAndre Hopkins play in 2023? What do you guys think? Take a guess down in the comments below. I have no idea at this point, if I'm being honest. Curious to see what you guys think. All right, that's going to be it for today's Chiefs Report. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. So until then, go Chiefs.